I killed a spider today. I feel really sick about it. I never kill spiders, never. I actively like spiders. They're beautiful and fascinating and serve their special purpose. I've actually been worried about the decline in those really big fuckers that were everywhere when I was a kid. They seem to have been replaced by these long, willowy ones. Kind of the spider version of my taste in men. Jarvis Cocker type arachnids. I've been meaning to look up if there's some kind of connection. I suspect, despite their slimness, that the new ones are doing some deadly number on the big fuckers. I'd be really sad if the big black ones died out. Same kind of sadness I'd feel living in a world with no great white sharks. I mean, I wouldn't want to pet either one of them. But I feel the world would be smaller, meaner for the loss. I'm arachnophobic, but I don't blame the spiders for the fact I have the vague sense if one of them crawled over me, my mind would break. So I've had to find a way of coexisting with them, especially as I live alone. When I got very overrun one autumn, a lovely friend suggested conkers. Apparently there's something in them that spiders don't like. Coincidence or not, seemed to work. I won that particular battle. The spiders retreated. But the conkers are shriveled now, and the war continues as a new willowy, eight-legged army have invaded. But I would never kill one. Except for today. I hate that he made me do that. And I'm really sorry. It makes me want to cry. I've been really anxious all day, actually jumping at shadows. Didn't think anybody did that in reality, but I did. Actually jumped off the sofa when a shadow fell across the lounge curtain. It was really butch. Glad there was only the dogs there to see it. Well, the most active spider is in the bathroom. I swear to God, it has a crush on me, just follows me around. I've spent many a relaxing bath suddenly rammed up against the taps, being alternately scorched then frozen, fixated on Colin. I've been forced to name him. I name all the really big ones that scare me in an attempt to make them more appealing. It's never worked. Fixated on Colin, swinging from the shower just above where my head would be if I was still lying comfortably. He comes from nowhere. Well, he moves fast. I move fast. Today, I was just about to get in the bath. I was going for a last-minute pee when Colin landed on the toilet roll beside me. I screamed, jumped up, and pissed all over myself. Well, at least I was naked. I stood in the bath, shaking. I could see where he was. And it was unlikely even for Colin to swing back round to me during the duration of my bath, but I couldn't calm down. So I decided to kill him. First of all, I called the dogs. Twiggy, the whippet, usually insists on sitting next to me when I'm taking my bath and licking the droplets of water off my arm. It's disgusting. But it pleases her weird little OCD brain, so what are you going to do? Dogs are disgusting. It's part of their charm. She also eats all kinds of creepy crawlies, so I thought she might eat Colin. But no dogs came when I called. The duster is blue, designed to reach high, but it's soft and unwieldy. It took ages to kill him. I regretted it after the first bash, but I'd done too much damage to stop, with him curling into a smaller and smaller ball. Horrific. I picked him up in a tissue, cleaned the pee off the floor, and got in the bath. Couldn't get out of there fast enough. Wish I could bathe with my clothes on. Didn't even condition my hair. Well, I'll pay for that later with my fine hair. Anyway, hi, I'm Robin. I'm hoping my mother was thinking more Princess Bride, Robin Wright, than Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, and she couldn't let go of the idea of having a boy. And today is my 5th wedding anniversary. Yay! Do you see how much I am adored? I got in the car this morning to take the dogs for their walk, and the car was filled with cards and flowers and presents. It's romantic, right? This would, of course, be a good deal more cheerful if we hadn't been separated for 2 years. As it was enough to induce a rather large level of spider-murdering anxiety. James, my very nearly ex-husband, hadn't actually broken into the car. The lock is fucked. I mean, the whole car is fucked, at least on a superficial level, so I never worry anyone's going to steal it. I mean, who would want to? And good luck to them if they did. It really is a mess. Not just on the dented outside. I couldn't quite fit my life of the last several years into the new place, so a lot of stuff is being stored in the car. It's being slowly broken down to a mulch while being constantly sat on by 3 wet dogs. Just recently, they've ripped open my bag of Halloween decorations that I keep in there. I have a lot of Halloween decorations. But this means when I unload the squirming fighting threesome in front of some prim woman in wellies holding her gun dog, probably called Jasper, I'm also showered with plastic skulls and rubber spiders. I then have to hang on to my swirling whirlwind of teeth and fur with one hand, the dog whisperer, I ain't, and throw decapitated heads back into my stinking shambles of a car with the other. Still, it's my car, you know. These little outbursts of love wouldn't be too concerning, just sad. We've all experienced a broken heart, right? If it wasn't for when they seesaw tips the other way. I mean, this is the same guy that was screaming abuse about me outside my house a month ago. But that's how it goes with him. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. Ooh, what I wouldn't give for a little apathy, a little blasé, some good strong indifference. We met on the train on the way to university. I'd spotted him a little way down the carriage, but only snuck glances. He was impossibly beautiful. Difficult to look at, like squinting into the sun. I was nothing to look at back then. Oh, shit. I'm not saying I am now. I mean, clearly. But then, even more deeply, not. Despite this, I was about an hour into the journey and had started to receive some unwanted attention from the kind of perv bully I habitually attract and was practicing one of my 3 defense moves. Okay, I should explain my 3 defenses. When I'm faced with something stressful or some kind of aggression, one of 3 defenses is used. Number 1, crying. This is incredibly ineffective, which is why they don't teach it at self-defense classes. Number 2, freezing or shutting down. So this guy comes up, grabs you from behind. What do you do? Is it absolutely brilliant? That'll get him legging away. Or number 3, and this is only in the case of like extreme stress or some kind of prolonged aggression, hitting myself. Quite often combined with number 1. So this guy comes up, grabs you from behind. What do you do? Now that fucker works. 9 times out of 10, they will leave you alone if you do that. Probably not the greatest victory. No. Anyway, this bit of bullying makes me visible to James, and he slides over, all shiny beautiful. The perv bully fucks off and leaves me with James. Talking to me. Me trying not to throw up on myself from the sunstroke I was getting off his glare. He was a great boyfriend. Genuinely interested in me. My previous boyfriend had been a creepy, controlling little cunt called Gavin. He loved that I made no effort with my appearance so that no one else would want me. And he was kind enough to repeatedly tell me so. I have made some super choices in my life. Well, screw you, Gavin. Look what I got now. Yeah. Now, I don't need to bore you with why the marriage fell apart. These things just do. Human beings are expert at fucking things up. Important things for you to know are his support turned to control, and there was the emergence of his temper. You can imagine how well I dealt with that, going regularly through my 3 defense moves till I was stuck in number 2. It's quite funny because it sounds like I'm stuck in shit. I shut down permanently. I can't tell you how amazing it felt to shut my own front door for the first time. Nobody could come in unless I invited them, even if they weren't a vampire. I'd regularly sit there on the sofa, just stroking a staffy, looking about me and crying. Joy this time, not defense one. Oh, reminds me, I saw this thing on Facebook. This guy had studied tears, looked at them dead close up, and different tears have different patterns, different structures. They were accompanying beautiful photographs. So like the tears you cry of sorrow look nothing like tears of joy. The tears you cry of frustration look nothing like the tears you cry when you're chopping an onion. Well, as a massive crier myself, I was fascinated by this and I reposted it. I loved the romance of it. So did others. Then my friend Anthony commented, what a load of toss. Damn Facebook and its traps. So easy to make yourself look a massive twat. It gave me my first really unsettling moment. We'd been separated for a couple of months when Facebook shut down my account because someone who knew my password was logging into my account as me, and clever Facebook realised I couldn't be in two places at the same time. I didn't think anything of it, figured it must be, some kind of mistake. Just changed my password and poddled on. But then I kind of processed the information. That, of course, the location of the mystery logger was the same as the location of James. He'd been visiting family. It made me feel a bit mentally itchy. But I decided not to say anything. I mean, it'd been a difficult time for everybody, and quite frankly, if he wanted to read my boring old shit, he could fill his boots. I don't read his texts anymore. No, nothing bad has happened, just too many texts and emails. There's been some flowers, lengthy letters going over and over and over the same old shit. He used to regularly turn up at my door till I asked him not to. He was very good about it. You see, taken individually, he's not doing anything wrong. Today was a bit much, I must say. I hear things. It gets fed back to me, the stuff he says about me. Bad stuff. But here's the thing. Who are people going to believe? Hitty, hitty, cry, cry, Robin? Or beautiful, shiny James? Enough. Do you want to hear some gossip? Well, you've been very patient, so okay. I met someone amazing. Didn't think I was capable of that anymore, thought I was too dented like the poor old car, but I couldn't help it. He just made my brain smile. Pleased other bits of me too, sure, but mainly my brain. Just made me laugh all the time, really got my soul singing. No, that's bollocks, I can do better than that. Okay, have this. He made me so happy to be in his company. It was like each of my little cells was a tiny bell, ringing out microscopic peals of contentment. Right? How poetic is that shit? I'm a catch. Well, after spending a lot of time together, a lot of amazing, fun, stimulating time, it didn't work out. And not his fault, just didn't. He didn't feel the same way. Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. I own a fucking mirror, for fuck's sake. No man anywhere gives a fuck what's on the inside. I'm sorry. I'm not actually a sexist. I appreciate that that's unfair. And I know that it's not true. It's just that it is true. The only man who's ever wanted me is insane. Well, this made me feel stupid and humiliated and sad, of course. So incredibly sad and tired and old. So I sat myself down and gave myself a good talking to. Robin, says I. Robin, an old girl. This whole love thing, this whole love fiasco, this will probably never happen for you. So just let it go. And you know what? I was glad. I was glad. I was relieved, you know? Because I never want any man to own any part of me ever again. Least of all my soul. God, you know, it's weird. The dogs have let me sit here talking to you for this length of time. They'd usually be bothering me for something. Do you know I haven't seen the dogs in ages? What? Where are the dogs? Shit. There's someone in the house.